What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily, JamiroFan 2000 here. We get another episode of JamiroFan Talks About. For the initiated of this series of nearly 9 years here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel, this has been my periodic recurring discussion series looking at the past, present, and future of Jamiroquai, and they're now over 32 years of musical and influential making. Now, this episode of JamiroFan Talks About is going to be continuing a trend of me looking at the constant at each other's heads, a conflict between Jamiroquai, everything with Jamiroquai, and the rise of artificial intelligence. Now, over the last, I want to say, 5 years, we have seen artificial intelligence really permeate itself into modern Western life, and from ChatGPT to auto-generated pictures using artificial intelligence to many facets of artificial intelligence and being facilitated all over the internet as well. But as of recently, in the sense of YouTube, the first real salvo of uncomfortable things happening pertaining to artificial intelligence and popular music was, of course, people taking artificial intelligence and first simulating artists' voice and candor. Okay, and then eventually the technology kept innovating into like websites like Suno, where you just put in a text prompt of what you want to hear, like say a honky tonk song in the style of Bob Dylan. It would automatically put out and self-generate original lyrics and musicality of whatever you describe, in creating artificial intelligence assisted artificial music. But now in this case, the next permutation has made its way onto YouTube and has come into the stratosphere of Jamiroquai are these new AI assisted generation narration videos. Now, many members of the family probably have never seen these videos on YouTube, and I will not be referencing or linking, even in the description area of this episode JamiroFan Talks About down below, any links to any of that artificial intelligence assisted media, because they have a lot of errors, because artificial intelligence is much like is very much still in a learning curve of taking everything that humanity produces and basically regurgitating it and reconstituting it and recombobulating it into something that's of a mishmash of what it's exposed to in the world. Okay, now these narration videos have made their way into people's feeds on YouTube and many other social media platforms in the likes of Instagram, TikTok. I could name the gamut, okay? And these videos in question are narration videos that utilize artificial intelligence in two facets. One, it of course facilitates the text-to-prompt, auto-generated artwork of artificial intelligence, and the other one is in using a voice that, using ChatGPT to do the research of what the voice is going to say, putting out these narration videos and making it seem like what you are seeing is the truth, or an absolute documentarian point of view on whatever the topic or topicality of the video you're watching is. But it's purely artificial intelligence in all of its facilitation. And most notably, I did see one of these AI-assisted narration videos about the history of Jamiroquai, and all I can say is it was hilariously bad, and I do mean bad, but this is what comes with technology. This is what comes with emerging technology that continues to have a large amount of unvetted, unreasoned, unproductized venture capital going into it in nearly the trillions and billions of dollars out of Silicon Valley and many other internet startups of an open AI or Microsoft background, and hasn't really found its grounding in an actual physical product. And in this case, this is the newest permutation of the fixative new trend in artificial intelligence generation, at least on an easy manner, on the YouTube platform. Okay, and I have a feeling you're going to be seeing much more of this in your feeds that are either being purposely boosted by the algorithm that runs a lot of these official websites or a lot of these video aggregation websites like YouTube and TikTok. You're going to be seeing a lot more of these videos. So all I can say to you is, if you happen to see them, take them with a grain of salt. They're not necessarily always the truth, and a lot of people who have a lot of FaceTime or spend at least 80% of their daily day looking at a computer screen and taking in whatever they consume can usually have their brain get tricked into thinking it's the truth. And in the case of Jamiroquai, they've been not victimized, but they have been the topic of a lot of these AI assisted narration videos. And if you want to do deep dive on YouTube, going down that certain rabbit's hole of craziness that AI has kind of devolved to in those, have fun at it with it. But I like to stay on top of these major trends in artificial intelligence when it concerns either the creation of music, artists, or anything. And I like to stay on top of talking about how uncomfortable I am with the status quo of technology that literally has no guardrails or any kind of unvetted supervision to make sure that this stuff does not get used and weaponized. But we have seen through the internet how a lot of this artificial intelligence is kind of being just thrown out in the willy-nilly with a price tag and not really having any guardrails set in there, with at least within the algorithms or how these AI models are operating, to make sure either copyright infringement doesn't happen or an artist's music gets ripped off or what have you. There is literally not enough guardrails there, and that's just my opinion on it. And you can share your opinion in YouTube comments if you want to, but like I said, in this discussion series here on my channel, I like to talk about things that are happening in the world, sometimes in technology, that could affect the band Jamiroquai and their livelihood. And given that Jamiroquai did sign on to at least 2 major open letters, they even recorded just dead air in their studio for an album, really a protest album against like I said, the uncertainable march of artificial intelligence and governments allowing these AI companies to continue to scrape the internet of all music and artwork and influence and everything that is shared, so that these AI models have something to play off on when it comes to being used by humans to generate things on willy-nilly. Like I said, Jamiroquai is very much anti-artificial intelligence, and a lot of creative people do see it as an encroachment on human creativity. So, this topic could take hours and hours to discuss, but I just wanted to bring this to the attention of the Jamly, or the online Jamly, that are concerned with artificial intelligence. That, yet again, another thing with Jamiroquai is being, being the fodder of these narration videos on YouTube. But like I said, as I preface at the beginning of this episode, JamiroFan Talks About, I will not be linking to any of those videos because I'm doing my part to inform you about it, but I'm certainly not going to give these videos any credence, clicks, or exposure here on my content here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. And thank you everybody for your understanding in the online Jamily. And as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. I hope you enjoyed this episode of JamiroFan Talks About. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe and ding your bell on your YouTube to stay up to date on all the latest content coming from the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. I will endeavor to keep bringing you all the most interesting discussions and the latest news about the band members and, of course, the band Jamiroquai as we go forward. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. Thank you again, everybody, for the support, and I'll see you around with more content of a Jamiroquai variety, not of artificial intelligence, here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you around.